Remember when I was young, and I remember it, and it stuck with me. It was like, "Ooh, you got a big nose," and he was doing it in a jokingly manner, but that stuck with me.
Especially when you see on TV, everybody knows was like slimmer. You know,
Right.
I have a wide nose too,
Right.
so I went, "Oh, wide nose, big lips. Oh, honey, we got to talk about these lips, honey." But now they paying for these lips.
Because I'm looking at it like, let me get
Run away, love. But I'm waiting on you.
Hello, welcome to the Sippin Sistas Table Talk.
I'm gonna serve you a look of classy,
A smell of bougie,
and a taste of ratchetness. Do we need to do it again?
Yeah, because I want to say now.
Go.
Well, we're serving you a look of classy,
A smell of bougie,
and a taste of ratchetness.
There we go. I like that. You all, thank you for joining us again. Make sure you go ahead and like,
Comment,
subscribe,
and hit that notification bell.
ding. All right, we're gonna jump right into this topic. We have our lovely special guest here, Miss
Yes.
Jazz, Miss Velez.
Put that on.
Put that ish on right
Period.
now.
And
All right.
okay, yeah, you know you got to plug in your business, baby.
Fabulous. Come on now.
I mean, y'all know I do a little bit of everything. But
All
no,
right.
I have Fabulous, which is like a little. I think I'm just gonna go with like the bags and the shoes.
Accessories.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
The clothes too much, but and of course, drunken drinks.
Drunken
Yeah.
drink.
I'm your big pretty bartender.
That-
Period.
She does.
You
that.
know?
She does that. All right. Oh, we're gonna
Good
jump
drink.
right into the topic. In our topic today, we know, as women, we deal with so many issues. Sometimes with self-confidence, especially teenagers, all the way up into adulthood. We deal with self-confidence issues. So our topic today, we want to discuss how do you build that self-confidence and that self-love to be able to just make it through life and own you.
Yeah, who you
Own
are.
Yes.
Well, I would start it off. I think when I was younger, I did have self-confidence issues. I did, because one thing about it, I was out of my mom's kids. I was the dark-skinned daughter, and they had the long, pretty curly hair, and I had the little short hair and the
The little naps. With the
no,
naps.
that ain't what they call it. Course.
Yeah, kinky course.
What they call it? The PDD. Well, it's not that bad, but it's bad. But anyway, and I always saw like most people would tell my sister, "Oh my God, they're so pretty, they're so pretty, their hair's so pretty." And people would tell me, and my mom would tell me, but you know, when your mom tell you something, you like, okay, this your mom, she gonna say you pretty or whatever. But I thought I wasn't pretty enough.
Yeah.
I hated taking pictures.
Oh.
But now,
And
baby,
now she can't stop.
Now,
we
baby.
can't stop her.
You can't tell me nothing.
Camera on
But she killing it. She killing it.
You cannot tell me nothing. So I think, you know, every woman probably has dealt with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Right.
sure. I think so, because I think we miss the mark a lot of times in growing confidence in our children. And I think that's where we really get off course, because a lot of girls are growing up with low self-esteem.
Right.
And we're not shown images that look like us.
Right.
We see everything, and it's someone that's lighter than us or someone that's darker than us, and we want all that melanin, or
Right.
we see someone that's skinnier than us, or we see someone that's curvier than us. And so those little things we don't realize are
They start to
Waning
mold that
down,
image
right.
Yeah.
of what
Exactly.
you think beauty
Totally
is.
agree
Yes.
with that.
Yes.
Right.
But
And with me, my mama put it like in me, like don't walk outside, especially after my eye injury.
Okay.
She was like, don't hold your head down.
Right.
So
Why
she
you
made
hold your
sure.
head down?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do the same thing with my son. Like, of
Yeah.
course, he's a little chubby little.
Right.
And he was like, they call me fat in school. I was like, you tell him you handsome, baby. It starts at home.
Right.
And I'm going to love on my baby. I'm like, you're handsome.
That's right.
And tell him you eat good, too.
Exactly. Right. For me, I've never felt like I was not enough or was ugly, but just like Jazz said, it was the looking at other women and seeing the attention that they got. It was like, ooh, I'm not light skinned. I don't have long, pretty hair. So I would do things to try to emulate those things.
Right.
So that messed with my self-confidence a lot. But I think, like you said, you really have to build that in your kids. It starts as a young child.
It really starts in the house.
And it starts at home,
Yep.
yes.
But one thing about it, too, I'm short, and Kira has always been tall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I want her height. And I have my friend, Crystal, she passed years back, but she was tall, and she didn't like being tall. But I was like, girl, if I was your height, honey,
Yes.
I would be a model.
And Sophie said it all the time, but I struggle with the height thing because I want to put on the heels, but I don't want to be 6'6".
And I tell her,
putting
girl,
on heels,
put it on
yeah,
and
she,
work it.
she definitely hype you up like, girl, if you
Put
put
them
them
heels
on, girl.
But yeah, you definitely, it does start at home, and you gotta really own. You gotta own that. You
Right,
gotta own
right.
it. And
And you know what I thought about too as you were saying that? A lot of in my opinion, sometimes what happens is it's those jokes that our families and our friends make.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And I said it to you, and I just thought about it after I said it. I was like, Sophie, I didn't realize you were so short because I'm usually the shortest person. But when we really sit down and we analyze it, those smaller, come here, you little fat thing, come here, you little thick self. When you talk to kids that way, ooh, come here, bring your little butt here. You know, and we think that we're just joking or we're being funny because that's what our family does, but we don't realize that really is drilling more and more doubt in people's minds, whether they're children or they are adults.
Yep.
Those jokes
just
sting.
On that, I had a family member when I was young, and I remember it, and it stuck with me. It was like, ooh, you got a big nose. And he was doing it in a jokingly manner, but that stuck with me.
especially when you see on TV, everybody knows was like slimmer. You know, I
Right.
have a wide nose too.
Right.
So I went, oh, wide nose, big lips. Oh, honey, we got to talk
Right.
about these
Right.
lips, honey. But now they paying for these
Right.
lips.
These
That's
lips.
nonsense. Because I'm
And
looking
that's
at it like,
weird.
give me some. Okay.
So, you know, and then another thing too, I hate when someone come and be like, girl, you're too skinny.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now.
And you wouldn't want nobody to walk up and say, oh, you're too fat.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah.
But they can say that to me, and I'm okay with it because I know I'm fat.
Right.
No,
me something
but
that I
no,
don't-
but no.
Like, yeah, but
it's
it's
like
still
a breakdown.
dictation, yeah.
It's like that. I don't like that. I would never. Even if it's a skinny girl, I would never go.
Because she
to
may
her.
have some issues with that skinny. Just like
Yeah.
that big girl might have some issues with that
Explain
big
to
girl.
us why it wouldn't bother you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't bother me because I know who I am, and everybody can see that I'm fat. So tell me something that I don't already know.
Right.
You
But
see what
see,
I'm
you
saying?
got that self-confidence.
But
there
a
are
lot of people
who-
don't have
Right.
that,
You're right, you're
self confidence. Because I do have a cousin that people always like, oh, she's so skinny, and she won't wait.
She wants to wait.
So
yeah.
when you constantly telling her, oh, she's so skinny, and she want that weight, it bothers her.
Yeah.
And a lot of times too, people may be like, "Oh, this don't bother me," but in the back of your head,
Yeah, it's sticking with
yeah,
them. Yeah,
like
they
with
holding
me,
on to it.
sometimes they be like, "Oh, that bother." I just because I don't say nothing, that don't mean it don't bother.
And we don't
Because I'm not-
realize
Yeah.
too sometimes that things bother us.
Right.
A lot of times we don't realize that why do I do this? Oh,
Right.
okay, now I get why I do this because
Think
of
back.
X, Y, and Z. We don't
Exactly.
realize sometimes that things bother us until it filters out or it manifests in a different area of our lives somewhere down the road.
Right.
Yep.
And I have a question, like, how were you able to build your self-confidence? Like, I know for you, you said your mother always instilled that in you. But, so if I know you say you struggled with it growing up, how were you able
Let me
to
tell
build it?
you, guys when in elementary school, the little guys would, like me, but I still didn't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I got into 6th grade, and my mom was working, she was going to school and she was working in Ronald Robbins. So she would go to It's Fashion. That's when it was popping in. And she would bring me all these clothes and heels and stuff. And when I'm in 6th grade, I'm newly in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's guys that's, our middle school and high schools were connected together. So I would dress up.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started getting the attention from the guys, I was like, okay, maybe I'm not that person I think I am.
Right.
And that's how I started owning it. And like I said before, my mom has always told me, and I had teachers
That
that
told you
always
what-
told me that, Sophie, you pretty, but you got to get your attitude together.
Bad attitude. Fight in a minute.
I was
That attitude will make you look.
Yeah.
ugly.
That inside.
Yeah.
With
That
those
inside.
teachers, and all the teachers that would tell me, oh my God, they was the teachers that, to me, the top teachers, because they was very glamorous and pretty. So if they telling me that, I'm like, okay, Sophie, maybe maybe you do good. You got to own it.
Right.
You need to step in and own it. And so that's how I got my confidence. Sometimes my confidence may be over the top sometimes, but hey, let me enjoy.
human.
Let me enjoy that moment.
Yeah.
If I say something, pipe down a little. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Girl, don't pipe down.
Right. Apologize.
Right. Don't apologize.
That's
Your
you.
confidence.
Right.
Because your confidence will actually fuel somebody else.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I said about Valez. Like when I see her on social
definitely-
media, I'm like,
girl, she
be
doing
working it.
Look, I'm
You
following
be
that
working
TikTok
it.
girl.
Yeah, she be working it. And I'm like,
I
okay.
be getting it.
I'm okay, Valez, especially when I saw that video, put that shit.
Oh yeah, she started a trend with that. Put that ish. Oh, girl, get you some shirts.
But I
shirts said.
oh, they coming. With the
Okay.
biker shirt. Oh, but look though, for the big girls and the big girls
Yes,
only.
Okay.
But yeah, it's coming.
But back on the self-confidence, for me, I still sometimes struggle with it. I can't
Yeah,
say
for
I'm
sure.
100%, oh, I'm just so confident. I'm going to portray that. I'm going to step out and have that. But I definitely have things that I need to work on personally. And
That
as
we
far
may
as-
not see.
That you
Right.
may not see. Like, I definitely feel like I need to work out. But people, work out. I'm like, yes, but there are things about me that I see.
Yeah, and we talk about that all the time.
Uh-huh.
Like I be like, well, I need to work out. Girl, you already know it's how I
feel.
because when
Right.
like I said, when I dress down and look in that mirror, it might be something now. Come on now, work on that. So it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with like if a person bigger, if a person
Right.
smaller. It's just like how you want
How
your
you-
body
right.
proportion.
Exactly.
Right.
But do you think? Well, go ahead, Bella.
You go ahead.
I was gonna ask a question, so you sure? Yeah. Okay. Is there a such thing as someone being too confident, like conceited?
If
Do you
they're
think there's-
rude,
Yeah,
and
it's-
cocky,
yeah.
there's a very thin line between having high self-esteem and being very confident in who you are,
And conceited.
and being a
Right.
jerk,
Yeah.
and being conceited and
Uh-huh.
just being nasty. You can't be nasty about
Right.
it,
Yeah.
because some women that would be classified or categorized as beautiful, when you meet them in person, they are hideous.
They're attitude.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
hideous.
Yeah.
And then that makes you look at them like, oh, are they really that beautiful?
She really
or-
not that pretty no more.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
your attitude do break down your
Plays a big
characteristics.
part. Yeah.
I think women that are like that though, I don't think they're actually very confident.
They're covering.
know
it.
I think if you have to be
Overconfident.
nasty
Mhm.
because you think you're so beautiful, I think you're compensating for other areas where you feel very low about yourself.
Right.
Because you have to
Right.
feel very low about yourself in order to purposely demean other people.
Right. Yeah.
And see, with me, I have my insecurities, of course. Got past that, but I'm still getting past it because I suffer with it all the time. Because like, I really didn't want to wear makeup because it's gonna draw attention to my eye. Like, but once people get to know me, of course, people gonna ask like, "What happened to your eye?" So now I want to stand out because I want you to ask me that so I can tell you.
Right.
And this is why I'm confident. Like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that's
made
perfect.
me who I
Yeah.
am. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to anyone out there who is struggling with self-confidence issues, who's and with that self-love thing? What would be like some key advice that you would give to them?
Get up, put something on, put yourself together.
on.
Right. Her words, right? Put something on, because I feel like when you don't feel confident about yourself, cool, everybody battles with that. But then when you wallow in it and you walk around in sweats every day, I think the pandemic has really helped with this as well, because I know for me, I wasn't wearing anything with pockets. Okay, it was stretch pants, tights, whatever, and t-shirts. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, no, I can't keep walking around the house like this, because at some point my husband's gonna be like, yeah,
You got to tighten up now.
this ain't working. This ain't working. So yeah, I say get up and put something on, and you have to find a way to get yourself. You have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
That's
well said.
good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Get out of your comfort zone. Oh, I don't want to wear that dress because I don't like the way my thighs look. Put it on.
put it
anyway.
on.
Put it.
Yeah.
Put some
Put it
heels
on.
on with it. Accentuate them legs. Lift that thing up and walk on out.
And,
Ah.
put on you some Spanx.
Down under.
Yeah,
Spanx never hurt
They got a lot of stuff out there to help
hold
you
you
out,
up.
honey.
Okay, you
Yeah,
want them
period.
thighs rubbing together? Throw some Spanx on. It'll help you.
I would say, you gotta own, like I always say, own it. You gotta own it, and then like being around someone that have that energy, have high confidence.
Definitely.
That would kind of rub off on you, because that person that got good energy, they want to bring that good energy to
Right.
you.
Right.
So they're gonna compliment you all
Yeah.
the time. Like
Right.
when I see my girls, I'll be like, "Oh, girl, you look good. Oh, I like that. Where you get that from?" So that would help a person, down. But
when you said that, what it made me think of, don't follow people on social media that
Right.
don't look like you.
That's gonna be my number one thing.
Right.
Like,
Don't follow people.
don't feed into
Don't feed
Exactly.
into that. Yeah.
Follow people who look like you.
Right.
That mirror what you look like. That have your skin tone. That
Exactly.
have your size. That have your food pie. That have whatever you have going on. Be around more
around
people
those
like that.
people.
Not to say that you can't follow people who don't look like you,
Right.
but also infuse that into your everyday life, so
Yeah.
you can know that okay, what I look like is actually normal and acceptable.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sitting here holding back tears.
This time I got emotional.
Because this is deep for me.
Okay.
Y'all go ahead.
No,
Okay.
no,
Go
no,
ahead
no.
and
Say
do
what you
Because
have
I'm
to
not
say.
going to be able to get it out.
You can
Baby.
Whatever you feel is what somebody else is probably feeling.
Yeah, and that
Say it.
your emotion can help that next person, and that's one reason why we decided to do this podcast to
Definitely.
help the next person
Just trying to
out.
compose myself a little bit. 'Cause I don't want to be the cry baby. Okay?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say that Sophie really has helped me.
Oh man! Oh, girl, you know, don't start that because both of you be crying.
I don't want to be ugly on you. That's all I'm gonna say, y'all. But she's helped me with the confidence thing. Being around her and her high confidence is rubbing off on me.
I love
Yeah.
it.
And that's what it,
Oh, my
that's what
God.
good friends
I
are
love
for.
it.
Yeah.
That's what you're
Yep.
supposed to
Right.
do.
And she just because
be
has helped me with a lot of stuff because she's so calm
Yeah.
and I'm so
Yeah.
so
Ratchet.
that sometimes sometimes you do need that person to kind of like
Level
if
you out.
I'm ratchet and
Yeah.
she classy
That
Right.
balance.
you got that balance.
Because
That balance.
you absolutely do bring calm to a situation.
She
Thank
do.
you.
I'm
Thank
like,
you.
girl, you're
Thank
so
you.
calm. I wish I had
Right.
that.
You gotta be ready to go.
Right. Look, train to go.
I'm trained up, right.
No, we're not. You know what? We just not gonna deal with it. We just gonna go.
Yeah.
So, like,
Right.
yeah, you definitely bring that
Okay.
peace and that calm.
Well,
to people.
Valdez, you got to give yours. You got to give yours.
Your advice.
My advice, definitely, like, don't feed into social media at all. Like, social media will have you, like,
Yeah.
messed up. Like, yeah. That's why I do my own thing. I focus on me.
Yeah.
Like, and if anybody got something bad to say about me, it's their own opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the type of person that I
Right.
am. But
Right.
as far as, like, loving yourself, learn yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So nobody
yes.
can never, like, judge you for being you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right.
Learn yourself.
Yeah.
That's right.
Can I add on to that? And I'm only saying this because I am a mom. Teach your children to love themselves.
Yes.
That's a must.
Because
Yeah.
we don't realize the battles that our kids face, and that follows them into it. So many of us are battling with so many things, including our confidence,
Right.
because of what we dealt with as kids. But we
Right.
weren't taught as kids to spend time with yourself. Go in the bathroom and just look at yourself. Now, I know some people might be like, that's too much. No. When they get to a certain age, teach your child, girl, just go in that bathroom and spend time with yourself. I'm not telling your children to go and do inappropriate things, but I am saying, hey, be with yourself. Learn to just be by yourself. Spend time with yourself.
Right.
Block out the noise so that you can get to know who you are.
yeah, know
and
yourself.
love who you are. And
Right.
that actually stops us from having to be these, what is it, chameleons?
Yeah.
Is that the animal?
Adapting,
Yeah.
trying to adapt to
Trying to
every
switch
person.
and be like everybody else. And
Right.
I think that really is such a key rooting of why we lack so much confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I always say, instead of adapting to society, adapt to being you. Like,
Yeah.
Right. Being you.
Right.
So you can be
Exactly.
ready for
Make them adapt.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
whatever you got to bring to the table, like, y'all gonna get with the program
Exactly.
or it's whatever.
Yep.
And
So,
you know
yeah.
what? And Kira was talking about, with heels on, and I just saw this. There's a clip on social media, and it was this tall lady. She was walking in the mall, and honey, she had on heels. Baby,
She was killing
when
it.
I tell you, I want to walk like her every day. Even when I'm going to work, I want to walk. Honey, they were looking like, dang.
Walk.
So it's just about owning who you are and just loving yourself.
Own
You gotta
you.
love yourself.
Love yourself.
But
Tune
as we
people
said
out.
before, it starts at home.
It does.
And I have a son, so I be like, oh, Ty, you look good. Oh, I like that haircut.
Right.
Because I have to give my son that confidence. I have to. If I
Right.
don't, then he gonna believe what that next
Somebody
person
else says, right. Yep.
For sure.
Well said, ladies. Well said. I think you all pretty much gave all the advice. Love yourself. put people around you who are positive,
Yes.
who are feeding into you and giving you that positive energy. But we're going to sign out. You all drop down below. This conversation was deep. So I know y'all got something to say on this one.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit that
Take
notification
nothing out of
bell.
you to like a
And
post.
share.
Share it.
Cheers.
Run away, love. But I'm waiting on you. Run away, love. But I'm waiting on you. Let's run away, love. Twist down. All I ever needed. Walking 1,000 miles, my feet bleeding. People feel like they entitled. Trying to feel the breeze, walking in black sand. Gotta get away from people, bad energy. Not from me, yard.